Hi, Bobby Watts here from Team Futaba, and today I want to talk to you about the GY701, which is Futaba's latest and greatest gyro and governor combination. This unit's going to be available sometime this summer, and I must say that for those of us who've been testing, we're extremely satisfied with this unit. The performance is awesome, it's very low weight, there's hardly any parts to it, the setup is a breeze, and it's just absolutely awesome. We're really liking it so far. So what it is it's a gyro and a governor combination. Everything's controlled in one unit. So in terms of hardware, you only have two things. You have a sensor, which mounts where your normal gyro would mount. You also have an amp control box, which is the brains behind both the gyro and the governor. The biggest thing that we've noticed with the gyro and governor combination is the fact that everything just works exactly like it should. There's really nothing special here. The governor, I must say, is just extraordinary. The first time I used it, I noticed it completely outperformed every other governor I've used in the past, including the GV1, which came out about 10 years ago, which was the standard forever. Futaba really came back strong in terms of a governor. I must say that it just holds the head speed so well, gives you just a little bit of overspeed that you want to give that extra pop, but at the same time is just always on top of things. And I really feel like it's improved in the mid-range. For those of you guys flying hard 3D, I really think you're going to notice just more power feeding in during your hard maneuvers, like a tick-tock or anything hard on the deck, like any sort of smackdown flying. I think you're really going to notice the power right there. In terms of the gyro, it's very simple. It's just like your 520, but I think it's a little bit better. We always set it up in rate mode. We're still setting up everything in rate mode, meaning that in a hover you're going to put it into rate mode and track the tail so that it does not drift one way or another. Once that's locked in, you lock in your gain. We're running around 55% gain right now in the 700s. You lock that in and then just go. There's really nothing to it. The 701 also has a slightly less sensitive sensor than the 520. I know a lot of guys have had issues with the 520s in terms of drifting or wandering, but because the 701 has such a it's a better sensor, it's a lot less sensitive, it makes it much easier. For instance, I just strapped it on my 700 and went, and it performed flawlessly. So now I'm going to walk you through some of the features and show you just some of the basic setup. So after the model has initialized, here's the basic home screen. Here you can see your voltage coming through, which is 5 volts for me. I have my gain set here, which is 53%, and you can also see the A, which means heading hold, and the N, which means normal mode. So here's our home screen. This is where you also set up both your gyro and your governor basic settings. So here first we're going to go through the, we're going to go through the gyro settings first. So as we hit our plus button here, you set your servo type. So in this case it's 760. Then you set your direction, just like you would, normal or reverse. So mine's normal. You set your servo limits, both A and B, just like you would with the old 611 and the 601 gyros. Flight mode. I'm running 3D mode. This seems to work really well, just completely stock. And that's it. That's all you have to do to set up the gyro. We then hit the plus button and we go into the governor mode. So we hit our button over here, and first I have set is my RPM settings. Now this is actually synced with my 12Z, and I can control it completely based on my radio. Sorry, that's the 8FG, apologize. The 12Z would work as well. So here I have in normal mode, it's 1670. Idle up 1, it's 1830. Idle up 2, it's 1960. So from my transmitter, when I sync it together, I can actually sync it and change it on the fly if I so desire. Gear ratio 8.2, this is a T-Rex 700. Servo type, once again, you set it just like you would with your gyro. The stick switch, this is a very important thing that you need to do the first time. The first thing you have to do is set your limits, which we'll get to in a second. But you also have to go to your stick switch and make sure that it's turned on. So what you do is you go to 30% and you press the positive button one time. You press the plus. And that's going to set your stick switch so that when I'm below 30%, it's off. But then as soon as I go above it, it's on the entire time. So in idle up, it would be on the entire time, which is what we want. So then we go here, go through these menus, don't need any of these. Limit set, very important. Go to your idle, go to a true idle, hit the plus button, high, go to full stick, hit the plus. That's it, done. And then you can check it so we can hear it changing. Perfect. Go around the sensor. This is the same sensor, it's a little bit beefier version used with the 611. In my case, this one's attached to the clutch bell. So we will spin it around here so you can see the 96%, good enough. And on the right, that's your maximum percent that it ever reaches. That's it, governor and gyro basic setup. That's all you gotta do. All right, now we're gonna do a quick flight with the 701. I'm just gonna talk about a few of the features as we're flying. So here we go. Okay, so here's our flight with the 701. You can notice how quickly the governor engages. Now we're ready to go. Here we go. So the biggest thing I really like about this gyro is the ease of setup. And it also flies really, really well, completely stock. These are the stock settings. You can hear my motors running really nicely. Governor's keeping it the same speed the entire time. Tail gyro, lots of authority, very consistent pirouette. We're going to stop here real fast right in the middle. All right, now listen to the governor, the speed. When I do quick collective pumps, it stays on the pipe the entire time. There's no lag. It's one of the fastest governors I really have ever flown. And then we're going to put it into an overspeed situation here, and it really doesn't overspeed too much. Listen to the overspeed. Hardly any overspeeding. And then when it comes to tail pirouetting consistency, I'm just going to do a nice big pirouetting loop. You can see very, very consistent, even with a good bit of wind today. And there we have it, the new 701.